today's Project Diary, I will teach you how to grow garlic in the springtime or warmer climates. Hi guys, welcome to Project Diaries. Now today's video is a request from quite a lot of people from around the world. There's lots of people that live in hot countries that are unsuccessfully growing garlic. Now basically, if you live in places like California and India, Australia and places that are really hot most of the time, it is really hard to grow garlic because these need a cold spell and something called stratification. Now I will link all my garlic videos at the end of this, but what it needs to do is it needs to go through like a frost or a winter phase for it to then start separating into these cloves. If you grow garlic without that, it will then just end up being one big bulb and a clump, and it's, even though it's really tasty, you don't get these separate cloves. So I'm going to come up with a really easy way for you to grow these in hot countries, and you don't have to worry about winter or anything like that. So this is a really quick and simple tutorial, and here's how to do it. So I've got some leftover garlic here. It's starting to dry out, but as you can see, it's starting to sprout and it desperately wants to become a big adult garlic. So all I'm going to do is roughly separate all of the cloves separately. It really doesn't matter if you leave any of the pieces back on it. I'm purely just doing this roughly. And then what you need to do is get yourself a Ziploc bag. I'm going to use this from some old postage that I've had, so I can reuse this time and time again. So you just open it up and then you get some soil. Now at this point it really doesn't matter if you use old soil, new soil. This is purely just going to create a insulation for the cloves. So if you want to copy me and make your own soil scoop just like this, the link is on the screen now, so check out that tutorial. And once the bag is just under halfway full, you then want to put in each individual clove. When placing them in the bag, you want to make sure that they're in the soil and not around the sides. And like I say, the soil is going to act like insulation to protect the cloves while it's going through its stratification phase. If you do this without the soil, the cloves could get frost damage. Once you've done that, you then just seal the bag up. This one's slightly difficult, but you want to squeeze all the air out as possible. Now once that's done, you just need to take it indoors and do the next step. And this is pretty easy. This is really simple and a quick way of getting around the stratification problem. So Grandad has kindly allowed me to empty one of his drawers in his freezer for me to do this today. So I'm just going to pull the drawer out and then place the bag really flat underneath. Now you want to make sure the soil is still covering the cloves as best you can. This can be a bit tricky, but I'm just going to do my best here. It would be a lot easier if I wasn't filming with one hand, but I'm just going to put it back in, put the drawer in, close the door and then leave it for around 3 weeks. So here we are 3 weeks later. I'm just going to check it now. It's nice and solid, and as you can see there's ice crystals and it's gone through the stratification that you need. And this has now tricked the cloves into thinking it's gone through a winter. Now you can leave this in the fridge for 1 more week, but it's completely up to you. And then once you've done that, you grow the garlic just how you would in all my other previous tutorials. Now I will leave a playlist at the end of this video, but like I say, the water part is completely optional. You can put these straight into soil. But after a few weeks of doing it this way, you'll then see these lovely green sprouts and they're ready to put into any kind of container or raised beds or wherever you want to grow these garlic and have them see out their maturity. Now these garlic bulbs really can be grown anywhere. They just need about 4 or 5 inches apart, but as you can see these are just growing really well in a simple windowsill box, and you can get around 4 or 5 in this box. And then once you're finished, you'll get beautiful garlic like this, and they will be some of the tastiest garlic you've ever eaten. So like I say, once you've waited 3 weeks, I personally like to keep these in the freezer for 3 weeks and then in the fridge for a week, and then that will then simulate going from autumn the long period of winter and then coming into spring, and that would just basically trick the cloves into thinking that you've gone through those seasons, regardless to whether you live in England or any other part of the world. So hopefully that will help you grow really successful and really tasty garlic throughout the year. I'm going to definitely grow some of these through spring because it's fantastic, and they're some of the best tasting garlic I've ever grown. So definitely give this a try. I'll also leave the links to my other garlic videos. Once you've done this stratification phase, you just need to follow the rest of my tutorials, and it's really easy. But like I say in my first video, you can eat them from 4 months. Again, they're a really tiny little bulb, but really tasty. So if you're impatient, they can be ready at 4 months, but it's best to wait until 9 months, go through all of the different growing periods and get that really big tasty bulb before you harvest. Anyway, hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you again soon. Good luck growing garlic. Take care. If you'd like to keep up to date on all of my future releases, click the subscribe button here. Here are some links to some of my other videos. And if you tried this or any other project, I'd love to see your progress, so please join my Facebook gardening group where thousands of people are sharing photos and ideas daily. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.